Gonna update on the trumpeter babies. They're all grown up. There they are. I think the red is going to be the cock. I think that's going to be the little hen. She's that purple color. It's funny when they're real little and they squeak. They even squeak in series like the trumpeter. I don't know how to explain it, but they kind of trumpet and squeak at the same time. They don't squeak like normal babies, so I think that's that purple color. I think that's going to be the hen. She kind of look like him, I think. And then it looks like the red is, I think she's, I forget what you call it, maybe dilute, which takes the ash red and spreads it, and that's an ash red without the dilute gene. So I believe that is the same color with a dilute gene, and I think he's going to be a male. I think that's the male. He's certainly the more aggressive of the two babies. So she seems to have a bit more yellow than the male does in her flights. He's more red. They had another set of eggs already and I moved them. There you go. There you go. Come on, do that again. They're both going. The hen's starting to trumpet too. And she does it a little bit. They should be laying again any minute. And the babies are, you can hear my other one in the background. The babies are just about big enough to go, so I'll be putting them in the main coop here. And that's my odd male. He's raising two Portuguese tumblers. I don't know if you can see him in there. He's cross-mated with a swift. So he's raising little Portuguese babies. I have two really good pairs of Portuguese. And this is from one of them. He's feeding them good. They're real good feeders, the trumpeters. These guys are going to lay. That's a Portuguese with a swift. I have a lot of extra hens in the swifts. I'm going to put a different pair under them. This guy here is sitting on the trumpeter eggs. He's a Rahani and he's mated to an Atati hen. And they've been pumping for me. They've been raising young ones. They raised, well, actually they raised their own baby last time. And then this girl here is mated to, I don't know what she's mated to, but I have a hen, that's from my California pair of Rahanis. He's going to be a Rahani. He's out of this cock and his hen that I bought. This is their, is that their first baby? I think that's their first baby. You can see they don't get the gold neck, or they don't turn black. It takes like almost a year for them to get their colors in. And they're sitting on, they had one egg for some reason up top here. This guy, he's got 2 more babies. And he's got that light color, the toy stencil. I'm going to show you the babies are brown when they're his first set of babies. They're out in the screen house. And I got my pair of Chinese owls. He's an old male, and he wasn't able to defend a nest, so they weren't laying or anything. They kept laying on the floor. He's a qualmond, which is kind of like a blue almond. But they have 2 good eggs now since I gave them they weren't doing anything with the other birds. They were happy, but he couldn't defend the nest. He's old. And those are the only 2 I have, so I'm hoping to get some little ones out of them, see what they come out like. These are my first Portuguese babies of the year. That little grizzle, and that's her nest mate. I just moved them in here from the small coop. That's the Catalonian tumbler. There's the 2 of them actually, the 2 nest mates, Catalonians. One has white on her head and the other one doesn't at all. But they're brown, if you can see, I don't know. But once they molt, that'll lighten up and it'll look like the male, I think. Any of the toy stencil breeds, they come out, they're generally brown, and then they lighten up and they get the stenciling on their wings. So that's the hen, I believe, and she's got a little bit of a white cap. She's supposed to have a full cap. Catalonians come in all colors anyway, but I'm going to mate her back to the male. That's the hen from California. That's my other baby swift I raised this year. He's going to be a male, definitely. He already coos. He doesn't even have a voice yet, and he coos and spins, which is good because I need cocks. He flies. He loves to fly. He flies around the coop, flies. And this is that hen that was sick, and she's healthy again. She's way up top. She couldn't even leave the floor. So if you got PMV or anything, just bear with it. And they come out of it eventually. She's fine now. She hasn't been mating yet. But I'm going to revaccinate in about a month. I'm going to vaccinate them all again. So, but that little Catalonian, that's going to be the male, I think. He's got almost no white. That's my little hen. But you can see the stenciling. Oh. I can't get her. See the brown? That'll all lighten up. That'll all be light stenciled once she molts out. She's supposed to have a fryer cap. She's supposed to be white head. Still a nice bird, nice flying bird. They're not much bigger than a Portuguese. They're longer, and the head shape is not as round. It's more almond shaped. A Portuguese, the forehead is more pronounced, and the body's thicker and the chest fatter. Of course, these aren't muscular, they're still young. She'll get bigger yet, but nice looking birds. That's the Portuguese with the Catalonian. They're pretty much, they're very similar. Both Spanish breeds. So. The Catalonian's got a longer wing, longer body, and a pointier head, almond-shaped head, where the Portuguese has got a big forehead. She's a little smaller. That's it for the Portuguese. She won't get any bigger than that. Whereas the Catalonian will grow a little bit yet. This is the breeding coop. These guys are on their second set. Well, I shouldn't say. They had 2 sets that weren't fertile. It's my best pair of Utatis. 2 sets that weren't fertile. I moved them in here, and they immediately had a fertile egg. And this is the baby. He's pretty good. Got the right color. He's got his mom's short beak, I can tell already. Ooh. They know to hide under that board. She just had her eggs. It's Memorial Day this weekend, so I have some birds that are laying, should lay today or tomorrow, and I'm going to swap this set out. That's the male with the longer beak. So they raised him up, and it was, I threw a couple of Portuguese down on the floor. Second set of Portuguese. They're bronze. This one looks good. The one's a little big. If you get them out on the floor right away, they learn to eat pretty quickly. But he throws bronzes. I got some bronze out of him last year. But her head is pretty nice. She's got a nice forehead. The beak length is good. Well, it's a little short. What happens with the Portuguese is the beak gets shorter and finer. And I've been working on that, trying to get the beak a little more evenly proportioned, kind of long and skinny. This is the first, this guy is, I think, 3rd generation. I'm getting confused now, but he's got a longer, skinnier beak. So I put him with a, and he's tall and skinny, I put him with a short fat hen with a short beak. This one here, and that's their baby. She's small, and her beak, see how her beak is long and kind of uniformly shaped. She's a very tiny bird. Feels like you're holding a dove. I've been banding them with dove bands. That's a dove band, 5mm, and it's plenty big. But that's a nice bird. These are my best Portuguese. But I'm trying to keep that beak. See, that I like that beak better. It won't look as long when her forehead fills in. She's kind of got a small head. You always lose something, gain something else. That's one of my best birds this year. I think that's going to be a cock. It's a kite. And this is my absolute best. Every year I find I seem to have a best bird. Oh, she's going to run away. She's tiny. She's got a good head. And I'm trying to do a comparison here so you get an idea or a scale. Come on. But that's her. My soda can's not working out. That's her next to a soda can to give you an idea. But that's the face you're looking for. She got a big forehead. Her beak underlines her eye. The center of the beak underlines the eye. The tail is no wider than 3 feathers when it's folded up. Her chest is fairly deep. Her eye is above her feet when she stands. Her chest is fairly wide. And it's fairly rare to get solid colors. Most of them are mixed colors. And she's going to have a pearl eye. I can see it already. That's my best bird now. Every year I don't figure I'm going to get another. That's her mom right there. She's pretty nice too. And her dad is a solid yellow. That's a pretty good looking bird. But the beak, see how the beak is very pointy. I like a longer, more evenly. See, the beak on her is better. I think it's longer and it's more evenly. It's not thick. It's not very conical. It's more even thickness towards the tip. And his is too. That's his nestmate. But there again, that's a dove band on her leg. So I'll try to give you an idea of that's the size. She looks tiny compared to the Coke can. She's scared of it. I wish I could get her closer to it. That's not a big bird. She's definitely going to be in my breeding program. I don't know if I'll be scared to bring her. This was my best bird. She's pretty good, but you can see she's even bigger than the yellow. She was my littlest bird. She stands a little too horizontal, not upright enough. And that little girl's pretty good. She's got more beak than I like the beak shape on her. But she lost some forehead. So she'll have to be mated back probably to this cock next year. Maybe in the fall, I don't think so, but I got started late this year. That'll probably be her cock. And that's my mommy, what you call it? Utati Swift. That's the beak you're looking for. That's what an Utati should look like. Which I say every time I get her on camera. So I'm hoping her baby looks like that. That big ugly face. Look at you. Aren't you a good looking bird? Yeah, she's from last year. Kite with a pearl eye. That's my best hen right now, and that's her cock there. He's my best cock for a couple of years now. I've had him on a few different hens. And that's the guy that throws the bronzes out. That's first gen. I got him from John Rosner. He's a good dad. He raises a ton of babies. They're just always bronze, and they're a little on the big side. I keep switching them, trying to find a hen that he does well with. I got high hopes for that little guy. He's going to be in my breeding program, whatever they raise. That's what I'm trying to get. The short beak she just laid. So I got 6 more Portuguese eggs in here, 2 more Portuguese babies in the other coop. The other coop, there are these guys' eggs. 4 trumpeters. They add up quick. You start with a few and you end up with a ton. I hope everybody's having good luck out there.